So if you're coming up to that step where you need to start cutting holes in your van to fit windows, this video is for you. You'll hopefully be able to get over that anxiety of making that first cut. As you can see, I've already done a couple of windows in my van. These windows I got from a place called Hartford Windows. I'll link them in the description below. Really pleased with how these have turned out. I've started with the sliding door. That way, if I screwed up, I can just replace the door, not the whole van. I've done another one on the rear here, and as you can see from inside, I've also done this side at the front. Really easy to do. It does involve making you need some wood, you need to make a little frame up, but I'll get to that later in the video. First thing you need to do if you're fitting these in your van is remove any ply lining. Well, that was easy. So I'm keeping hold of the plywood actually, just because I might be able to use some of it when it comes to lining the van when we're finished. But as you can see, what you're left with is what looks like a brand new inside of the van. Very clean, not like it is about to become. So the next thing, before we go any further, make sure you have windows that fit. So I don't want to cut into this. This is part of the actual structure of the van. This, not so much. This is just there to stop that panel vibrating. So this will have to go, which we'll get to later on in the video. Here is my last window. So let's open it up and see what's inside. So what we've got here, I've left the blind in here. I'll show you the blind. I haven't actually taken any of these out because I'm not fitting them yet. But these are the blinds that come with it. So one side you've got a blind and the other side you've got like a bug net. But this is the bit we're interested in at the moment. So we have some screws which are taped to the window. This outer bit here is your inside window frame. Now later on, when it comes to screwing this in, we actually screw them into this gap here where you can see the holes. Again, that's actually quite a straightforward step, so we'll get to that later on. What we're interested at the moment in is this frame around here. I don't know if you can, if I go there actually, it's better to see it. So this is the frame here. This is the bit that we're going to be, we'll go through the hole in the van. So we need to make that hole. So what I found was a really easy way of doing it so that you don't make the hole too big. That was always my concern. Make the hole too big. It's not very easy to put metal back into the van. What is easier is to take little bits out bit at a time. So what we're going to do is we're going to use some of my scrap wood. We're going to make a frame like we've done here. We need to make a frame anyway to space this out. So we make the frame now. We then hold the frame up to the side of the van and basically mark out inside with a permanent marker. Cut out that line, and because that line is inside the wooden frame, it tends to be very slightly smaller than the window frame. So we can then just grind bits out until it fits. Ta-da! One window frame. Needs to be tight, but not too tight. So as you can see, I can quite easily lift that up. Shallow end at the bottom in my case. That fits there like that. So just because of my OCD, the other thing I need to do is measure this gap here and measure this gap here so that it's perfectly centralized. Not that you're going to see that when the van's all back together, panelled up and everything. There we go, we're all marked out. Just that time now, time to start cutting. So I'm going to start with an angle grinder. I don't like using an angle grinder because it gets really hot and melts the paint outside. It actually burns the paint. So what I use the angle grinder for is just starting off. So I'll do certainly the corners that my jigsaw can't get into. Then I'll go around with my jigsaw and then we'll do some trial fitting. And I've been quite fortunate with these three other windows that the hole I made was just right. So I didn't need anyone else because I've got no one else here. I didn't need anyone else to hold the window. I recommend if you're doing it at home, have someone hold the window while you screw the panelling inside. So, and now we have something that resembles a burger van. So yeah, hole is cut. Obviously, like I said, there will probably be some fettling to do. We won't know until we try the window in a moment. Then what we need to do before we actually glue the window in place is just touch up these edges where we've got shiny metal, because the last thing we want is for that to rust. I've got some green engine paint I've been using, but literally any paint will do. You can't see it when the window's in, so yeah, whatever your favourite colour is. Let's go for a trial fit then. Right, so I'm quite fortunate that the bottom fits. Height-wise on, I think it's this side, I just need to take a little bit off there, and a little bit off, I think it was this corner here, and then we should fit. That wasn't too bad. So I'm going to get grinding on this, and then we'll get to the final fitting of the window. Here's my green frame. So like I said, I've now gone over, touched up all the edges in green, and then a few bits where my tool slipped, took some paint off. I've gone over that as well. Just to show you the outside, it looks pretty much the same. Next step is putting the window in. So what we need to do, good old tiger seal. I'm going to go around this frame. There's quite a nice little corner here. If I put you down there, you can see a bit better, that corner there. So that's the corner I'm going to fill with tiger seal. And then I'm going to put the window into the hole and rush inside, because I do not want it to fall out. Like I said, it is a tight fit, so I'm quite fortunate there. If you can, use an extra pair of hands, use somebody else to just hold the window in while you do this step, but I've been quite fortunate with these three, so fingers crossed I can do it again. I have my screws ready, I have my screwdriver ready, there. So once the window's in, window frame in, the wooden frame, and then the metal frame that comes with the window, put that over and start screwing in. There we go, all fitted in, absolutely brilliant. These are quite cool, because these four, you just twist them like that, push the window out, and it sort of, the struts hold it in place. And then to lock it, just pull it shut. And then there's these little red tabs, so we just push them over and they lock quite nicely. From outside, I think you've seen the others anyway, but really looks quite cool. And I'll just do this bit. So satisfying. And then the actual window bit itself. There we go. Yeah, really pleased with how these have come out. Hopefully that has taken the anxiety out of anyone wanting to do windows. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. Lots of prep, and you'll be fine. And then I say these blinds. There you go. This one's a bit of a better version. You've got the old fly net on top and an actual proper blind at the bottom. We'll fit those later on in another video. But thank you for watching. I'm recording the whole build. This is obviously part one. There are going to be many more parts, so make sure you're subscribed, like the video, and I'll see you next time.